Good morning, Monday the 24th of November, and as you may be able to hear, it's raining. And as you know from watching these videos, whenever I to this property, it always rains. Sometimes I do come here because it is raining, other times, and most of the time, I just get unlucky with it, but it is what it is. So I'm here, it's the 24th, and it is the penultimate fortnightly mowing / leaves, let's call them visits. So we definitely won't have enough light to do certainly the Wednesday. So what I've done is I've moved two of those 5 jobs to today. It's about 7:30 now. It's light, but it's raining. So the plan is now to just crack on, get this one done. It would probably just be a bit of leaf clearance, particularly because of the rain. There's certainly leaves to clear, so there's no issue there. And then we'll do the little one that I normally do, and then actually we're scheduled in for well, the 3rd visit to a new client, which you would have seen. I'll show you it when I'm there. That'll be this afternoon, so hopefully any rain that's coming down now would have passed by then. That's the plan. So what you've just seen there is the last lawn of the day. So I think that's the 3rd time I've cut it this season. I'm still not sure as to whether they want to be a lawn care client and a mowing client, or just lawn care with me just sort of mowing ad hoc, which at the moment it's okay, but during the season that's not. I don't mind that bit of work, because sometimes, you get these gaps here and there and you can fill them, but it's not what I tried to start out with. So I will be pushing them for a definitive answer to that as to whether they want weekly, fortnightly, or they're just going to ring me kind of on an ad hoc basis. But they will have to understand that, I'll basically, once the season gets going, I'll need a month's notice, and that quite often doesn't really work. So yeah, but then again, I am trying to be more flexible, so when good jobs come in, I can just jump to those ones and jump to those ones, because sometimes those good jobs come in and you're just like, you're tied up with your fortnightly jobs, which maybe pay good money, but sometimes when these good jobs come in, you're like, oh, I could jump on that, but I've got these fortnightlies. But then the fortnightlies are there year in, year out, and they provide you with a good living. So it's kind of like that sort of flexibility to be able to do that thing, but not get rid of when you're onto a good thing, it's good, but it just means you can't get onto a great thing sometimes. So yeah, I'm hoping next year I'm gonna have a little bit more flexibility to be able to do those kind of jobs, like the flailing work, for example, and then one-off turfing jobs and things like that. So that's the plan. And I'll probably discuss that in more detail as we sort of get closer to organising that. Okay, morning Tuesday. So we haven't cut this lawn for a while. Been moving, but they're not, so it needs cutting. 2 more cuts for the rest of the season. So penultimate cut today, as it is with all fortnightlies, and then we'll do one just before Christmas. There's a bit of red thread in there now, but we're not going to be spraying it because I guess you say the client doesn't care anymore, so it's just going to be a cut. Okay, so all cut. You can really see the red thread now. It's really obvious. So just to treat this, all I'd be looking to do is stick some iron down. You can go that little bit heavier than what you would do during the summer. There's not a great deal of moss in here, so you could go quite hard with the iron. The only reason I wouldn't go completely full iron is because if you've got a lot of moss, that moss will go black, and until you're going to scarify, that's just going to sit black for until the springtime, really. So I'd just be looking to control it and suppress it, as opposed to really darken it off, and then your lawn looks completely unsightly. So you just want to put enough down to dehydrate it, and then and that's it. Also, what I would normally do is mix in a little bit of urea or something just to help grow it out. The thing you've got to be careful this time of year is putting too much nitrogen down, because that will stress the lawn out massively. So so yeah, if you're doing it, we're spoon feeding it. So just something to think about. I just want to show you this. So I'm on a lawn. It's a fortnightly cut, no treatments here or anything like that. Literally, it's just a cut. This area here, it was under a lot of shade. There was some big bushes which came all around here, so it just didn't work. But it was last week or 2 weeks ago, it was really slimy, and I don't think if you can kind of quite see that it's quite sloped. And basically I went straight over on it, and it was that wet. So I mentioned to the client about it, mainly because I didn't, you know, he's an elderly client, I didn't want him sliding over when he's doing his bit of gardening and stuff like that. So what I suggested to him is that he just went out with the garden fork and just made some holes, just to help let any water drain through the profile, but also let the air get in and around it and help to dry it out. And it's absolutely not slippy at all. So he's done really well there, and it just shows you just what a bit of spiking can do, because that was really dangerous. So fortnightly, it's looking pretty green, looking pretty lush. The only thing is there is quite a bit of moss coming in, as you can see there, and that is particularly because the sun just doesn't get up. The sun is probably level in line with the hoop there if the cloud wasn't in the way. So it's quite a dark lawn. So what I would be looking to do today is to just spray an iron just to suppress the moss, give the lawn a bit more colour. But what I am going to do is I'm going to suggest to the client that I will also just run over with the aerator, punch some holes in, just to help any water kind of get away from the surface level and sort of move through the profile a little bit easier, as well as the iron treatments. So I'm out doing iron treatments all next week, so I will book that in for then, in theory. This client's pretty cool in the sense that I can just kind of crack on with stuff, but because I'm invoicing tonight as its final monthly mowings, I will just mention it to him then. Right, I have left, if you remember yesterday, I put the Ego batteries on charge. I've just remembered they're at home. Fortunately, I have to drive past my house to get to the next house where I need them, so no issues there. And we're done in the dark. So just about got it done. There you go, there's the front all striped up, and there's Christmas next door. So they do that every year for charity, and it's very successful actually. And I mean, there's still loads and loads more stuff to come out, but when people come and view it, because there will be a daily viewing of in sync music and lights and things, they'll be able to see my stripes next door. Right, see you tomorrow, Wednesday. Hopefully it won't be finishing in the dark quite like this. Anyways, see you later. Okay, Wednesday, -2, -3 maybe in areas. Now I've done the first two that I would traditionally do on the Wednesday on Monday, so that's done. The 3 houses I've got are literally all in the same road, 2 doors up and 3 doors up on the other side, so there's no real travel or anything, so I should be able, it's 8:30 now, should be able to smash these out and actually do it quite comfortably. My next visit will be the full week before Christmas, and I know on the day I'm coming here we are going to see Father Christmas later on that day, so with the children obviously. So I kind of need to time how long these 3 are going to take to know whether actually I'm going to be able to get them all done, because I think I'm going to have to be home by about 4 o'clock. Now I know it gets dark at 4 o'clock, but that means I'm going to have to leave here at 3:30, so that's 8:30 to 3:30. Is that enough time to get it all done? I'm not sure at this stage, because I've probably not done these 3. Well, I've not done these 3 on their own. So today, too frosty to mow, which is, as you can see, very white, but all those leaves are pretty much down now. Still some leaves up. I mean, that's still got... I'm surprised. Some of the trees I see look completely green anyway. Plenty of leaves to be getting on. And actually it's under the shade of the trees and stuff, so it's not too frosty in there. So that will be the job. The 2 weeks ago really was the worst of the leaf season. So so we've sort of broken the back of that. So it should be a lot easier now. So anyways, I'm gonna get a coat on and get going, because it's pretty cold. Second lawn down. Very frosty, and this one was the only bit I could actually, so I haven't cut anything in possibly 2 months, just because I've been on leaves, but all these leaves have been down for a long time, but the majority were coming down from up there, so we've managed to get all this cut and out the front too. So that will mean that I won't have to do that again. There'll be no growth there, so that'll be fine. Got one more visit to go, and there might be a bit of debris down, but that won't be anything major. The majority of the leaves are down in the back too, so if we can, all I really need to do is get a cut on those, and then that'll all be tidied away quite nicely. But I keep saying it, those there, they're all oak trees, and they're smothered in green leaves, so there's still plenty of debris to come down. Morning, Thursday, and very different day today. So rained last night, so very cold all yesterday. Some of the frost didn't lift at all. Got all the work done by before the sun sets. That was a nice change. And then it started raining in the evening. I assume it rained most of the night. It was raining in the morning. Atmosphere's a bit damp, but it's not, hasn't rained since I've been here. So while I've got the opportunity, I'm going to get the grass cut. So that's what I'm doing today. The leaves aren't too bad. They're all down off the trees. I have given the tennis court a little bit of a blow to get rid of some of the remaining kind of leaves which just get caught up in there. But obviously, if you remember last week, I had my pile which I'd accumulated over a couple of weeks, and I cleared that out. And that was perfect timing, because it was frozen last week, where I wouldn't have been able to mow. A lot of the leaves were actually frozen to the grass, so by having that pile that I built up over a couple of weeks, that gave me something to do. And then this week, obviously, it's good. The going's good for mowing. So as you can see behind me, we've run over with the Time Master and striped the front lawn up. Obviously, the sunken lawn, we've done that as well. So I've sacrificed any edging today, because I just want to get the cutting done, because hey, there's what, three more visits I think, and who's to say that one of them's not going to be rained out, another one's going to be frozen, and who knows. So while I've got the opportunity to cut and get the lawn striped up, I take that. Right, we're going to finish off here, then go on to the John Deere house, which I didn't do last week. So I think everything should be pretty tidy. It was always pretty tidy for a couple of weeks leading up to that point. So there'll certainly be some leaves to deal with, and again, while the going's good, we'll get a mow on there as well. Okay, so there we go, all striped up nicely. You can still see the pathway through, but it's very, you know, it's blending in. Remember, this is just a cut lawn, this isn't a treated lawn or anything. So it keeps flirting with rain, but nothing's really happened. So I'm just tidying up at this one, then we'll go on to the next one, which I assume would just be more leaves, maybe a cut. Last time we were there, it got the full whack. It got a cut, it got leaves cleared, and it got an iron treatment. So be interesting to see what it looks like now. So Thursday's final lawn. So we striped it dark and light. We striped it up and down last week, and we've gone side to side this week. We also gave it a very light iron treatment. just colour the grass, suppress any moss. Yeah, and it's done the trick. I mean, it's obviously getting a bit dark now. Had the sunbeam shining on it, it would have glistened a little bit more. But anyway, I'll just show you the front quickly, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so there's the front. So growth has really slowed down now. So what we will do is, that's obviously straight up and down is what I cut this week. Side to side is what I cut the week before. So so as I say, growth has really slowed down now, which is from the bit of snow and frost we've had. So next week what I will do is I'll bring the aerator, and what I'll probably do is just run over with the chisel tines, just so it's like making some kind of discreet holes really, just to help any heavy rainfall filter through the soil profile a little bit quicker. That's just going to help stop any moss build up. Also bit of a gas exchange there, and it just helps the lawn dry out that little bit. So so yeah, that's the plan. So I won't cut next week. What I'll do is I'll just aerate, and then that will give me 2 more visits, and you can kind of make an assumption that maybe one of those visits is going to be disrupted by weather, frost, whatever it may be. So in actual fact, it may only be one visit where we can actually cut and get it all striped up nice, for any festive visitors. Morning, so Friday, so very much like yesterday. A little bit of cloud, a little bit of blue sky. It's not raining, so what we've done is we've striped the lawns up, and that's the plan for today. As I say, there'll be 3 more visits after today. These are the weekly lawns, so I mean, I think it's fair to say, or make an assumption, that one of those weeks might be frozen or frosty, another week might be torrential rain. So what we'll do is we'll get a cut in now, and then hopefully we'll be able to get one more cut in at least before Christmas, ideally the last week before Christmas. Growth has slowed down. What I'm going to do next week on these lawns is, they are in desperate need of an iron treatment, just to sort of suppress that moss that's coming in. So we'll also spike the lawns as well, just to reduce the moisture that's sitting on the surface, help that rainfall go through the soil profile, and help reduce the moss as well. Now that was last week's plan, and I brought the sprayer and all the tanks of iron. Unfortunately, that, if you remember when you watched last week's video, all the lawns were frozen, so that I wasn't able to do that. This week I can't cut them all and spray them all, so I'm going to spray them all this week. Sorry, I'm going to cut them all this week while I've got the opportunity, and then look to spray them, because I could come another day and spray if necessary. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I'm just going to pick the mower up. As I say, we're going to cut a few leaves down on the back, enough that I could probably cut and suck them up. Sometimes in these gardens, particularly the one we've just come from, there's so many oak leaves that actually mowing just doesn't make sense, but there are leaves down, but enough to pick up. So yes, I'll show you that in a bit. So we've got this one all striped up, and I've not blown it off yet, so it's kind of all right, but there's definitely some red thread creeping in. If you remember the one next door, there was red thread last week, but the lawn was frozen, so I couldn't spray it. And as I say, I'd brought the stuff to do it all, but I couldn't do it. So and this week I just wanted to concentrate on getting all the grass cut, and I haven't got time to get all the lawns cut and get them all fed as well, purely because it's the daylight. That's the biggest issue. So as none of them have been cut for a couple of weeks, you've got to cut while the going's good. As I say, with the spraying, I have got the flexibility to do it on a different day if necessary. So maybe next week I might be able to do that. But actually, there's not really much growth in it. So I will. I think next week I'll actually just spray. I won't cut. I'll spray. Probably take the aerator over the main lawns. Just try to help get a little bit of air movement through there. So yeah, there we go, onto the back now. Going to cut the back up. Not so many leaves, I'll show you now actually. Okay, so all I've kind of done is just sort of blown any kind of leaves out from any pockets onto the lawn to suck up with the mower, because you know it can certainly handle it. Still lots of leaves on that oak tree there. That one's pretty much down. But yeah, we get a stripe on it, as I say. I traditionally only treat this third, so we'll spray this with iron next week. Yeah, it's going to be an improvement, isn't it? So all stripes up. Most of the leaves have been sucked up with the mower, so that's pretty cool. As I say, that tree's still coming down, so I'm sure there'll be more leaves to cut. But right, I've no idea what the time is actually. It's things are going quite smoothly, and we know how that works out. So anyways, there we go. That sky looks right in the distance looks a bit blue, but stripes are laid. Van's dirty. Hoping to get that cleaned this weekend actually. It's just so difficult when you get home and it's pitch black. So yes, right. Last one for the day. See you in a minute. The same as the others. Been striped up. Definitely needs an iron treatment. So especially on this lawn, will be just a little bit of solid-tine aeration and an iron treatment. So anyway, that's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in December.